Collins English Readers. The Mirror Cracked from Side to Side by Agatha Christie. Text copyright 2020 Agatha Christie Limited. All rights reserved. Recording copyright 2020 Agatha Christie Limited. All rights reserved. The Mirror Cracked from Side to Side and Agatha Christie are registered trademarks of Agatha Christie Limited in the United Kingdom and elsewhere. All rights reserved. Read by Gabrielle Glaister. Out flew the web and floated wide. The mirror cracked from side to side. The curse is come upon me, cried the Lady of Shalott. Alfred, Lord Tennyson. Chapter 1. Miss Jane Marple was sitting by her window looking at her view. She had once been very proud of her garden. Nowadays, her doctor would not let her do any gardening. Old Laycock, the gardener who came 3 times a week, did his best, according to him, but Miss Marple knew what she wanted done, and old Laycock always agreed with her enthusiastically, and then did something else entirely. Laycock's excuses were always reasonable. It was too dry, too wet, there was a frost, or other things of great importance he had to do first. This usually had something to do with cabbages or carrots. Vegetables, he believed, were the real stars of a garden. Flowers were for ladies who had nothing better to do with their time. Miss Marple looked away from the garden and picked up her knitting. Her thoughts turned to how it was not only her garden that was changing around her, it was the village too. St. Mary Mead was not the place it had been. Of course, nothing was. You could blame the war, or young women going out to work, or the atom bomb, or the government. But what it really meant was that you were growing old. Miss Marple, who was a sensible lady, knew that. The old heart of St. Mary Mead was still there. The Blue Boar Inn, the church, and the vicarage, and the original old houses, of which hers was one. Miss Hartnell's house was still there, and so was Miss Hartnell, fighting progress with every breath. But there were new people in most of the other old houses. And though the houses generally looked the same as before, the village street did not. The fish shop was unrecognisable, with enormous new windows behind which lay all the shiny fish. Barnes the grocer hadn't changed, though, something for which Miss Hartnell and Miss Marple and others were grateful on a daily basis. So helpful, comfortable chairs to sit in by the counter, and friendly discussions about cheese. At the end of the street, however, there was a shiny new supermarket. Well, this was not at all popular with the elderly ladies of St. Mary Mead. "Packets of things you've never even heard of," Miss Hartnell complained. "And you're expected to take a basket yourself and go round looking for things in packets, usually containing too much or too little of what you need, and then stand in a long queue to pay. Most tiring. Of course, the people from the development—" At this point she stopped, because, as was now usual, the sentence came to an end there. The development. "Oh," Miss Marple said, annoyed. She'd dropped a stitch again. Even her new glasses didn't do any good. Miss Marple thought of how good her eyesight had been a few years ago. From her garden, she'd been able to see all that was going on in St. Mary Mead. Nothing had escaped her eye.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?